Hello, team, and welcome to another ATP and ATP Geopolitics and Greg Terry Experience co-stream live event. This won't be my normal rambling hour-long conversation about this and that and everything else. This is a very directed talk with Greg about the efforts that he and indeed Professor Gerdes have gone through in sorting out a charitable method of helping Ukrainian soldiers on the front line that I am hopefully going to get involved with, or at least, tag alongside with these guys in doing. And he's going to explain everything about it so that there is a way that you can direct your charitable intentions in a way that's really, really transparent. And that's what one of the most fantastic things about this, and has a way for us to find out where the money is going by seeing it firsthand be delivered to some of these guys on the front line. But anyway, that's enough from me. Greg, thanks for coming on. Do you want to explain to the audience what you have set up, how it works, how transparent it is, and everything else?
Thank you, Jonathan. First of all, thank you. That's the bottom line. But in a nutshell, I'll just give you a 60-second history here. It was Christmas Eve night, or the 23rd. I received, Dr. Gerdes and I have been working together quite a bit now. And Dr. Gerdes called me and he says, "Man, I have an idea. And I'll quote him because he said it on the stream anyway. "I want to use your setup and you use my resources of reach, and let's do something crazy." So he said, "You have an NGO in Ukraine." I said, "Yes, sir." "You have an NGO in the United States, a foundation." I said, "Yes, sir." "You've been supporting Ukraine since the war started. How much have you raised?" I said, $250,000 in aid. He goes, "And nobody knows about it." I said, "Pretty much, yes, sir. I've just started to get some traction here once Johnny welcomed me to a stream a month ago, and now we're rolling." He says, "Okay, let's do a Christmas appeal, a holiday appeal, a giving appeal, a blessing appeal, just to be nice, and let's see what happens." So we came up with this idea. It came to reality on December the 25th at about noon Eastern Standard Time. We are now basically 72 hours later, and it has evolved unbelievably. I do not want to use the word viral, but with you getting behind it, we're even going to go more viral. And then there are others that are going to get behind it. We've raised over $50,000 in aid in under 72 hours, including things directly requested from the front lines: tourniquets, chest seals, thermals, and gloves. You've got some video that you're going to show. There's Dr. Gerdes popping in here and saying that's what happened, true story. So we just did it. We threw it out there and had no idea what would happen. Zero. Dr. Gerdes, we said, "Okay, we'll give it 24 hours. We'll do a report." He messaged me the next morning. "You got any update on what's going on?" I said, "Yeah. We're over $20,000 of aid in under 24 hours on Christmas Day." He goes, "Oh my goodness." This is what he said. My jaw hit the ground. I said, "Yeah, it is." So from that, we're giving this medical aid to the front, soldier aid. Now, let me explain that part. Then we'll go to part 2, which is the drone part. I know that people may say, "Okay, well, I'm not sure how this works," or "What are you doing?" So we have an Amazon shopping list here in the United States. We have an Amazon shopping list in the European Union with our partner there, Bill Schwartz and his organization out of Brussels. We're all coming together in synergy. Dr. Gerdes is now Dr. Synergy, and I am now Dr. Energy, and you are Dr. Genius, Johnny. This is how we've got it all laid out. Now, we're coming together in synergy. And I know people right now are going, "Okay, well, if I buy some tourniquets through you and send tourniquets to the US, okay, what are they going to get to Ukraine in like 3 months?" No. We're doing a 1-week push until I leave. I'm leaving for Ukraine on January the 2nd. We then will take all of those goods, and we've done this for the entire war. They will go to Newark, New Jersey. They will be shipped via air with the Ukrainian company Meist. They will come to Warsaw, Poland, and our team will go and bring them across the border into Ukraine. Now, people are going to say, well, the Polish border's closed. No, it's not. The Polish border reopened and is still open at 2 checkpoints. And if for some reason it goes sideways, please hear me and trust me. Look at my 670 days of videos. We will take the goods through Moldova or Romania. It's getting into Ukraine. We have a team. We have the resources. It's going to happen, period. So all the aid coming here, all the aid coming to EU, coming all together, going in. The second thing that's glorious is we're actually going to take those Cat 7s, those scopes, those thermals, and we're going to put them right into the hands of the soldiers firsthand. And you're going to be able to watch it. I already know from Ukraine, I'm going to be streaming with Johnny some. I'm going to be streaming with Dr. Gertis. And then you guys, if you're here, you've never followed, I'm not asking for you to follow, subscribe, but if you want to see it actually delivered, that's what's going to physically unfold as we run the front lines for 3 months. Now, if you want to ask any questions there before I do the drone part, Johnny, or you may keep going.
And just to bring this up, because some of you might think, well, I know what Greg Terry does otherwise, and he's involved with the church and doing this. And I asked him what might be a bit of an uncomfortable question, like, is any of this money going towards what you do on the side and you know, church activities going on in Ukraine? He's like, no. All of this is Ukraine, aid to Ukraine. So wherever you sit on any political spectrum or on any belief side of things, like, this is just aid to Ukraine. And here's a guy that's doing it, right? Here's
Johnny,
a guy that is taking it out there and delivering.
May I address that?
Yeah.
Okay. This has nothing to do with a church.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with a philosophy. This has nothing to do with a religious disposition or non-religious disposition. This has to do with morality and what is right. And right now, my friends and family, literally 26 years of working in Ukraine, are being massacred on the front lines every day. And we as human beings have the right, the moral responsibility to stand up for what is right. Putler is a dictator. He is an invader. He is a war criminal that is still supported on the world stage as a legitimate world leader, and it's a bunch of trash. So what can the world do? It's not going to happen through a political movement. It's going to happen through a grassroots efforts of people, all different spectrums of the world, different corners of the world, different backgrounds, different beliefs, coming together, finding a way to support. Here is what we're doing. It's zero has anything to do with our church.
Yeah.
Our NGO foundation is just able to funnel it legally NGO to NGO. And secondly, Johnny, as cherry on the top, all fees, air shipping, transaction fees. Well, I'm making a credit card donation for $100 to your effort, but I'm getting a 2.9% charge. We pay it. If you give $100, 100 euros, $1, 1 euro, that complete value is going to the front, period. That's what we do. 26 years, man. We're smooth. A good place to address one more thing. Usually it's Johnny saying, excuse me, I'm talking too much. So this time I'll say, excuse me, I'm talking too much.
You know me too well.
I do. People out there have this question. Well, I understand that's really cool, but I'm going to send dollars to your organization there in the US, and then you're going to transfer them to Ukraine. There's going to be a transfer fee, a wire fee, and then there's going to be a currency exchange difference. And my $100 may be $90 now. No, your $100 or 100 euros is going to be $100 or 100 euros. Why? Because we are NGO to NGO registered together as partners, and our transfers, we do not transfer currency from US dollar to Ukrainian hryvnia. We send in dollars. Our team there takes out dollars. There is no, there's no fees. any fees that are associated with, for example, a wire transfer handled by the Bank of New York, which we're linked with, that's all paid for out of our work, not your work. So those questions are nil.
There's a couple of people who said, so before we even get into the details, thank you, Niels Clement, who says, couldn't get the Amazon link to work, but here's some cash for Ukraine. So that's from Niels Clement. Thank you, Niels. That is incredibly generous of you. And that will, of course, get passed on. So thank you very much for that. Someone else said, Jerome, JR, said that, oh, no, he didn't say that. He said something else, which is, I couldn't get the Amazon.de link to work. I can't purchase any items from the Amazon.de list. He sent me a message on Twitter to suggest that. So that could be something for you to look into. I don't know.
No, we've been working on that. It's working intermittently, and there's some reason for that. It'll work like it didn't work right now. It'll work in 1 hour. We're working on that with our organization in Brussels. That'll be solved. Just be patient. The link will stay there.
Yeah. Cool beans. And hopefully the links, or most of the links, are in the description to the video below. Any other links I need to put in there, I'll subsequently put, but you can find them at Greg Terry Experience, I presume, or
gregterry.org.
Yeah.
And additionally, Dr. Gertis had a great idea. He says, man, you need to post your EIN number. That, you know, people have questions and they want to make sure, because this world's crazy. I said, okay, no problem. So we've publicly made available our EIN number, which means you can pop that number into Google and go research us, and you will see a legit organization since 1924, to be honest.
Yes. And please like, subscribe, and share, for the reasons not from my own self-aggrandizement in terms of getting traction for my videos, but getting traction for this cause. So please do that. As Nightbot here says, how can you help right now? Make sure you like, share, comment on the video, and be active in the chat. Every action you take helps to get the updates to a wider audience. That's really super important. And someone who joins me quite often for my lives, who is Orsus, says he's fighting on the front line at the moment in the trenches near Klishchivka. And he says it is not going well at the moment. And he says there's phosphorus actually raining down right now, was one of his later comments. Things aren't going well. And hopefully, you know, the help that Greg is getting out there to the front line will help in these like scary situations when people need tourniquets, when people need, you know, that kind of help.
Johnny, are you saying that you personally work with this guy here, or have had him DNZ, BNB, Orsis?
He has been on my chats before. I can't verify anything he says, of course, but he's saying that he's consistently said he's fighting near Klishchivka to the south of Bakhmut, and so.
Klishchivka, as you know, Klishchivka is completely gone. So that is a small village of 3 roads. It's completely destroyed, but Ukraine still holds it, and they're fighting very hard there.
Yeah.
There's a railroad crossing at the northeast side of Klishchivka that's vitally important, and that's the battle zone right there. I've been all around that area.
I think near the railway line.
Yeah, I know exactly. I know exactly where he's at. I've been there. So, sir, watching this stream right now, when you get into a safe position, you go to my website, you send me a message, we'll take care of you. Period.
Cool. Really good stuff. So talk us then through, I mean, I've got some things to show you, because what's already been raised already has been pretty fantastic. Here we have Amazon just turning up now to you, I do believe, just recently.
Yeah, actually, that's the fish video. Roll that one. Roll that one.
All right, guys. This is like 3rd shipment of the day. Hey, are you impressed?
Oh, yes. A lot of stuff.
What do you think about being able to deliver stuff that you know is going to help people that are dying on the other side of the world?
It's beautiful. I love to help.
It makes you happy?
It makes me happy.
Well, it makes me happy, my friend. Thank you. So, guys, a whole nother batch has come in, and even the Amazon drivers are awesome in helping us get this done and care about Ukraine. Thank you all.
And then indeed the next. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, play the next one. Here you go. This is our organization headquarters.
Let me ask you a question. You were making a statement a minute ago that makes you even feel good that you're helping somebody.
Yes, absolutely makes me feel real good helping somebody that needs help.
Well,
you can never go wrong with extra help.
That's right. Hey, thank you for all your work, and you better get ready. It's gonna be rolling, my friend.
Appreciate it.
I guess so. Yeah, he told me, he says, man, this actually makes me feel good. We helping Ukraine. So,
Oh, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, my friend. Holy moly, guys. It continues. Thank you. Can't hold the door for
So
There you
that's
go.
really good stuff. Someone's saying I had problems with the EU site, but I was able to buy in pounds from the US site.
Yeah, and that
So there
works
are-
great. It's going to get there 100%. For I'm telling, there's something goofy with the EU Amazon wish list program. I mean, the guy that's doing it for us has been doing this for a decade. He knows exactly what he's doing, and it just keeps going up and keep going down. See, there was one. I just saw you put a chat up. I bought an item on Amazon. Please deliver William Short's gift registry address. That is correct. That is correct. So see, it works intermittently, and we're figuring it out.
and then someone saying, I think this is a really good question. What do you need the most of from the stuff on Amazon?
So we've already sold out Amazon on Woobies, which are trench blankets and warm blankets. They're multi-purposes. But the most vital items needed right here. And so, first of all, our list is streamlined, only the most important and requested personally by soldiers on the front line, of whom you'll see a soldier in just a moment when we talk about the drones. But tourniquets, these are real ones. Secondly, chest seals, lifesavers. Thirdly, this Z-fold gauze. We've got a couple different options there, and medics here in the U.S. have been helping us clarify what needs to be on the list. And then the thermals for the cold, the gloves, the balaclavas. Everything on there is vital. Everything.
Someone saying that wanted to buy an item. This came as an answer. Sorry, this item cannot be sent to this address unless we're sorry, you cannot find it, blah, blah, blah. Find out more. You can either change the delivery address or delete the item from your order. There are obviously some teething issues with some of the orders there, but I presume just, try again, keep going at it.
Yeah, please try again. And guys, just be a little patient with the EU side. I'm assuming that's the EU side because, I mean, we just showed the video of the US side. It's nonstop. So we have 4 deliveries scheduled today that was just one of them. So that was the second one. So we're going to have 2 more coming just today. Now, additionally, with the things that are coming now, I'm going to actually take as many bags as I can and buy some extra baggage going over, and I'm going to be loading them. I have my own personal gear because I'm going to be running the front. My body armor is already in Ukraine waiting for me. My helmet's already in Ukraine waiting for me. But everything else, I'm having to load, especially a lot of camera gear, streaming gear. There's a lot of stuff because we're going to be live streaming right from the trenches on the front line every day. And yes, we'll be safe 100%, and we will be secure for ourselves and soldiers. We only do things that the commanders allow us to do and sanction us to do, so that everything will be legit. However, it takes a lot of gear, but I'm going to load up as many tourniquets and chest seals as I possibly can. It's
because also
the
here
number one.
says we need anything to stop bleeding as fast as possible.
That's it.
I mean, he's just said that. Do you know what? I lost 2 guys already in my team, 1 Italian, 1 Ukrainian. So things are tough. Things are tough for everyone on the front line. But certainly, tourniquets is something that we've heard so much about since the beginning of the war.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's great, Johnny from Ohio Blast. It's great to see how this is growing. I just looked at the list. Many life-saving medical supplies are still desperately needed. After this show, I'll buy med supplies. That's unbelievably brilliant. Thank you, Sally Luz.
Yeah, thank you.
And also, if you want to get hold of Greg Terry, just again, because you might have been off when he just said, just go to send him a message privately through the gregterry.org, I think it is.
Yeah, that's it, Greg. I put it in your chat for you, gregterry.org.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, good luck also with everything you're going through. Okay, so what else can you tell us? Should we play the fish video?
Let's first describe the second phase, and then we'll play the fish video.
Yeah.
So the following day, once our numbers came in that we were pushing, Jaron Roloff's perfect. So put that up, please. That's perfect. Yes, that's correct. Ukraine aid, guys. You'll see Ukraine aid, and you see it's here. Now, as far as phase 2, Dr. Gertis and he's just blown away. I'm blown away. Others are getting involved. You're now involved. He goes, man, I am a marketing or business professor, this is what I do. You have the connections, we have the friends, and let's do this. He goes, what's the number one need? I said, drones, period. I had my partners in Ukraine put a video out last night. It's on my last night stream. No, it's on. Yeah. It was a 10-minute update from Dr. Gertis, and I played it on my channel as well. And you can see our president of our organization there in Ukraine talking about the drones. So here's what we're doing now. We are raising funds to buy FPV and protection drones, attack drones for Ukrainian soldiers to keep them alive, to defend their positions so that they can back up a little bit and be protected from that unbelievable shelling that comes in nonstop. So Ukraine is producing drones. Two classes. One is $300 US. One is $600 US. Now, let me explain how this works. These drones are manufactured there, but then there are also 3D printed I'm looking for the English word, 3D printed peripherals that attach to the drones that can run cameras or drop munitions or whatever. So as a part of our organization, what we do, to be quite honest, when we're running aid to the front lines, which includes medical and sometimes other things, we also are running drone parts, meaning these 3D parts that are made in Western Ukraine. And then we have the legal paperwork and all the documentation, which I'll show you guys. This is mine, Ukraine, that we get these pieces to the drone squadrons on the front lines and we take them there. So that's the deal. So
let's face it, if you don't know, Greg has some fairly useful contacts in and around Ukraine, so he is able to get this stuff to the people where he needs to.
100%. So Dr. Gertis says, you know what? Let's buy some drones. Why not? This is
I think people like buying drones. They see how useful and needed they are for all aspects of this war.
So here's the deal in a nutshell. There's two types of drones that we're buying and providing. Question number one, are these drones purchased on Amazon and then shipped over? No, these drones are purchased in Ukraine and they are readily available. Secondly, are we able to just buy a drone? For example, I'll donate $300 to your organization and you buy the drone, but how do I know it's getting there? Well, we're going to show you that they're getting there. And I think now with the traction we're getting, that you're beginning to see that there is a place that you can give, that every penny's going to get there. And you're not worried about that corruption word, or you're not worried about the aid not getting there. It's going to get there. So what the plan Dr. Gertis come up with, and he says, listen, let's just tell people if they want to buy a drone, they donate through your NGO there. And instead of $300 or $600, a $300 drone is a 7-inch drone that has X amount of ability. A $600 drone is a 10-inch drone that has X amount of ability. And you're going to see a video on that in a second from my guy right on the front line. He says, let's tell people, and we're going to reiterate this later tonight, please donate 301. In that way, our organization, of course, after you've donated, we will have our your information, because if you're in the United States and you're donating, you get a tax deductible receipt, of course, for that. But if you're not, you're donating, we have your name and address because or your name, your email address, whatever, that you've donated through our online system. What we're going to do is our administration team in the office, which you just saw, is making a spreadsheet. If you've bought a small drone, when we get to Ukraine, and that's next week, and buy these drones with dollars, we're going to write your name on it. And we're going to take it right to the front line. And we're going to video it for you to see that you really dropped a drone in the front lines of Ukraine. We're going to write your name on it. And secondly, say, well, the one lets our internal staff know that, oh yeah, this 301's a drone. This 601's a big drone. And listen here, with the extra dollar going, I'm then going to buy that cup of coffee and put it in the soldier's hand with the drone. So there you go. It's a
So
drone and a coffee.
What happens if people can't afford $300? So say they've only got like $20 to be able to donate, and that goes into the pot towards drones, I presume.
Absolutely. We are moving now. So then, of course, we wouldn't know that you were specifically wanting a drone because we've had 78 individual donations coming in over just last little while. It's hard to track all that. That's why the 301 and the 601 tells us that. But what I'm telling you right now is the money coming in specifically right now until I leave is going to the drone initiative, period.
And I presume like you can put a message on PayPal donations. So
Absolutely. And you can also add a note on the donation, I believe, on our site. I believe.
Yeah.
If not,
Yeah.
we're modifying that. Our web administrator is working on that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, brilliant. That's absolutely fantastic. So, how many drones do you think that you have afforded at the moment with what has been donated?
I can't honestly answer that question, and I always want to answer honestly. So our dream is to build or deliver I think Dr. Gertis and I were trying to call it a squadron of drones or something, some kind of squadron. All I can tell you is right now, drones were purchased last night, and we just released this information last night in this genius plan that Dr. Synergy had, Dr. Gertis, and we're going to facilitate it. And now you're helping spread it. I can tell you drones were purchased last night. All the numbers are being run right now, but we're going to send as many as we can, period. And I don't want to throw a number out there, but I can tell you we've raised enough money already for dozens of drones.
Yeah.
Literally.
Insane.
Yeah. And because we only tell you the truth. Like Dr. Gertis shared last night, our spreadsheet, our internal spreadsheet, there's nothing hidden. Zero. We're going to show you everything. And then the bonus is 5 days I'm heading to Ukraine. You're going to watch it.
Yeah. And wouldn't it be wonderful if this live and you guys, I mean, I know that there's a lot of crossover between the audiences that I have, Darren Gertis has, and Greg has as well. So a lot of you who are my audience would have already donated, I'm sure, if you are shared audience members. But for those who aren't, you know, if my audience can make a difference, that would be fantastic. And if Greg can see like a bit of an uptick in donations over the next sort of 24 hours, that would warm my cockles. And
I want your cockles warmed. And so here's our push. And Dr. Gertis, I keep dropping his name, but it was his idea to get going on this, so he deserves the credit. We're really focusing on this push until I leave, and that's another 5 days, and then we're going to show you the fruit of your labors. And yeah, people will still be buying. The Amazon list will be there. You're always welcome to donate. It's going straight to Ukraine, but we're pushing really hard this week so that when I get there, you're finally are going to like physically see directly, okay, I can't believe I gave these people $50 donation and they're on the stinking front line showing me what they're doing with my donation and helping these guys that are dying every day.
And so Ron here asked a quite a specific question. When you are there, could you encourage units to post as many videos as possible to the web within the constraint of OPSEC? Video provides proof of Western supporters. It's one of those things, isn't it, where it's a bit of effort for people to, you know, on the one hand, it's great to do that, but on the other hand, they're fighting a war, etc., etc. But it's this like virtuous circle whereby they, you know, the more videos they post to show like gratitude and the goods being used, the more likely it is to generate excitement for doing that, appreciation for doing that, and then you're more likely to donate again, that kind of thing. So
I can answer that very easily. So when there's levels of access to the front, okay, now we can go off topic for just a second. There's levels of access to the front. 99% of journalists never even sniff the front because you're not going to get there. Now, maybe one big boy from CNN, one big boy from Sky News, they'll give them access, but you're not getting there. And where they're at's very controlled. Only in Ukraine, when you've went through the documentation and the proof. For example, the reason I have the access is I'm personal friends with deputies in Kyiv, in the Senate, basically, or the parliament, however you want to think about it. I actually have a conference call tomorrow with one out of Odessa, and friends with mayors and friends with soldiers that have been friends of ours forever. My guy, Zhenya, who's been on your program, we communicate with commanders. So when we come to the front, we not only have the documentation, the passes. My pass came from Zaluzhny's group. All right, we get right to the front, but then we specifically work with commanders. And when I'm with a commander, like, we go in the bunker with them on the front. We are embedded, and we stay where they're staying. We eat with them. We make them meals. We spend time with them to let them know that the world is standing with them and loving them. Now, nobody ever knew about my channel, but you can go back and see we're embedded in showing you everything. So what we do is we share what we are allowed to share. And who gives us that permission? The commander. And when you share what he's given you permission to share, you then have an open door. And there's a trust built. So yes, we're going to show you everything that's possible. In fact, this is a great place to show you right now fish.
Yeah, and just like I hear there are some border restrictions on getting drones into Ukraine. Is Greg aware of any of those problems, and is there a workaround? Do you envisage any problems?
So once again, let's go back to our process. Talking Bloke, thank you for that. And I see you on Johnny's Discord. I remember your name easily, Talking Bloke. So we're not having to get drones into Ukraine. There's the golden nugget. Our drones that we're buying are already in Ukraine, manufactured by Ukraine. So we're not going across the border with anything. We're sending the resources across the border from our NGO in the US to our NGO in Ukraine, dollar to dollar, euro to euro, and it comes right out in that currency, and we go straight and we buy the drones in Ukraine. There's no borders.
Excellent.
Yes,
Excellent.
sir.
Right. Let's play that Fish video. So first of all, who is Fish?
Okay, so Fish is a friend of mine. He is a Ukrainian sniper, and he has been responsible for a lot of loss on the enemy. He was just awarded the Golden Cross of Valor by Ukraine, which is the highest award from Zaluzhny himself. He has been my personal friend for over 20 years, and I will supply this man and take care of him until the cows come home. Now, if you want to see what you will be watching in the future as we deliver your love to Ukraine, this is Fish. He's on the direct front line sniping. That's all you need to know. I'll never tell you where he's at. I will be with him very soon, right beside him in his vehicle, dodging the same shells he's dodging. So,
okay,
this is Fish.
Glory to Ukraine, glory to heroes, and praise God for every one of you. Here with you, your Fish, with my team. Thank you, guys, and thank you all the people in the world for your help and support, that you being so active in helping Ukraine with tactical medicine and different items which can help save lives. Huge thanks to you, and I want to ask you to encourage you helping us with supplying of the drone kamikaze drones. And here's this example: 7 inches 300 plus USD and 10 inches 600 plus USD. And probably you can see it's already the difference. So the small drone is carrying less gifts, let's say, and the bigger one carries much more load. So thank you one more time, and praise God for every one of you, and let God bless you richly. Thank you. Bye.
Excellent stuff, and that gives you a really good understanding of what those drones are. You know, that's great to, and also he's got a great beard, as someone rightfully points out. So, and I've said this before, Craig. I've said, if nothing else, Ukraine routinely win the beard war with Russia. I've seen much better beards on the Ukrainians than the Russians, so they've got that one sewn up. Anyway, on to drones though. So that's great to see fish, and you know these drones will end up. With hopefully with the right people at the right time, you know, where they're needed.
100% with the right people. 100% with the right people at the right time, and you'll watch it. I saw a comment there. Would it be possible maybe to connect with Warthog and let him put the hit markers on his map? You know,
Yeah,
all things are possible. I've actually communicated with Warthog some, and I know Dr. Gertis has, and that is a phenomenal idea. To be quite honest, we're 72 hours into this project, and we had no idea that we would be to the point we are in 72 hours. So look at there. Professor Gertis explains. I already talked to him. See, there is some unbelievable synergy happening here, Johnny, and thank you so much. I have some super chats on mine. I know you see everything.
Yeah, I've pulled up a couple of yours already.
Niels
Them up
Clement, just want to say thank you, going straight to the front. OMFUG, thank you, going straight to the front. Robert Yonasar. Here you go, Greg. Robert, it's going not to me, straight to the front. Thank you. Thank you all.
Yeah, so these will all go. Thanks. These are all from people on your channel, so that's fantastic. Really good news there. So hopefully we'll get to see Greg as he delivers some of this stuff into Ukraine, obviously into certain parts near the front line, and we'll see some video footage of him doing that, and hopefully at some points Greg and I can go live together to talk about his experiences and also, you know, what's been happening with this aid. So hopefully
100%
we can make a difference, guys. And I've been wanting to do, you know, charity's a tough one, right? Because I come across so many charitable sources, so many people asking for X, Y, and Z, and I don't really shout about it to my viewers much because I recognize that my viewers are perfectly well capable, well able of being able to do that themselves and go and find the charities that suit them. You know, charity is a difficult one. Some people might not like giving to weapons, you know, giving sniper scopes or even drones because they drop IEDs on people's heads. Other people like, that's exactly what I want to give, because the sooner this war finishes, then the sooner we can get to like peacetime, etc., etc. And I know people are having those debates in their heads. You know, you go and give to whoever you want to. Just make sure you do that and make sure you choose wisely. There are, of course, scammers out there. We know that Greg isn't a scammer, so this is as transparent as it comes to get around those issues. I mean, previously I've been one to, I just like give lots of amounts to various like people appealing for drones or this or that, and there's been no one charity that I select over and above any others. I've had charities on here before, Base.ua and Country of Peace, and I still advise you go and help those guys out, and From Bristol with Love, and etc., etc. So, you know, here is Greg with another one, but this is one that we can follow from beginning to end, and there is, as mentioned, that great deal of transparency.
Johnathan, would you mind putting up Paul Good Deberitz's comment? He's right. That's it. He's right.
Interesting.
Yes, it is charity if we want to get, you know, into linguistics. Yeah, we're giving. Do you see Gertis's comment?
Yes. About Warthog. Warthog's video supporting you just dropped 10 minutes ago. There you go.
Holy moly, guys. So back to, you know, it really is. It's a combination, to be honest. Everybody that's here, unless we get a few goofballs, but we can handle them. You know, it's interesting. The ones that want to come in and start spamming pro-Russia, может быть, говори со мной на русском языке, потому что я поговорю с тобой твой мусор, и ты не знаешь, что ты говоришь. Хорошо? Все. Okay, I took care of that. Now, and yes, that was Russian language. Okay, so This is just people standing for what's right and finding a safe avenue to do it. That's it.
Yeah, and I love the idea of crowdfunding support. I mean, that is what we're doing, and at the end of the day, uh, yeah, there've been talk. There's been talk. Zelensky mentioned that, hey, Ukraine are going to be able to hopefully produce more and more of these drones. In fact, more drones than they can be given from abroad. But that's not to say they don't still need drones to be given from abroad. I mean, goodness me, this, if nothing else, we've learned about this war that drones are absolutely central. But of course, all the other great things, those gauzes and blankets and tourniquets and all of the above, you know, it's so important that that help gets there. You know, Ukraine is struggling as a nation, like the funding that they have a deficit that they're operating on. The economy has been absolutely mauled by this invasion. Although there's a 4.5% rise in GDP expected this coming year, that's on the back of like a massive hit. And so, you know, without assistance, Ukraine will struggle to prevail. So they need all the help they can get, and this is one small way that we can all help. Yeah.
Well, the bottom line is war. You know, and you're much smarter than I am, but war is not won through political action. War and alone. War is won not through military action alone. War is won through people in all spheres working together and laboring, especially those grassroots efforts. That's how wars are won, and this war needs to be won that way.
Absolutely, 100%. Thank you so much, Lawrence22. Thanks for the gifts and the memberships as well to support the channel, Lawrence, and you're always very good with that. But here's Lawrence's super sticker. That's really very generous. And Peter van der Root, who knows? He knows. 111 euros. That's incredibly generous. So I'll be putting together a package for Greg myself. So I really appreciate all the support here for what we are trying to do. That's absolutely fantastic.
Johnathan.
Yes.
There's a comment in mind from Shenanigans. He's on your Discord. I
Yep,
need to reply to that.
I'll bring that up. So
thank you.
Let me go and find it. How far back is it? Oh, here it is. I presume this one. Greg contacted you. Okay, you can read it.
Yeah. My friend, yes, I did receive the email. Unfortunately, it came in at the very moment that this project exploded and my email went bonkers, literally. So yes, I do have it. Yes, we will ship your stuff. I know you had written that you would pay for the bag to go over on the airplane with me, but there's so much stuff going. But if you will ship it, I think you said you're in PA. If you will ship it to our offices here, it will go in our air shipment and it'll come right to Ukraine.
Happy days. So it'll be wonderful if we can, you know, if I can report back to you guys that this channel has helped raise even more money for Greg. Oops, I think my good time for my mouse to run out of battery. But it'll be absolutely great if I can report back to you that there's been an uptick in donations to Greg's cause here. Thank you very much here to Remy Stevens. Please use this to fund the drone project. So 50 Canadian dollars. That is super generous. So thank you very much for that.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'll be live tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I know for a lot of European viewers, you watch it the next morning, and understandably so. We will have the latest updates. I also know Dr. Gergis will have the latest updates here later this afternoon. So all I can tell you is we're blown away with your kindness and your goodness, and it's coming. And you're a part of this movement. I see, you know, people with the ideas, get others involved. Let's get them all involved. Why not? Because we're legal and it's going there. And I'm physically going to be on the other end helping. It's beautiful, and all of you are going to be with us. So at 9 o'clock tonight Eastern, I'll be live with another update. And there's so much happening that I'm going to need to create some graphics and different things. and to show the goodness of the world coming together. Johnathan, Dr. Gertis and I will keep you directly updated with numbers as well, so you can share publicly. No problem. We want everything public, transparent, and honest.
This is a great question from JR saying, any direct PayPal link?
Yes.
Because I think that's one of the easiest things to do, actually.
So on the next,
but I guess the question, sorry to interrupt, but I guess the question is, does that PayPal link, have you got a generic PayPal link that you're just
no. I have a
100%?
nonprofit PayPal link to the same nonprofit NGO where the money's going.
Right. Okay.
But Johnny, would you mind talking 2 or 3 more minutes and let me go to my administrator and get
If there's
that
anything
PayPal?
I can do, it's just talk endlessly for 2
I'm
to
going to go
3.
get the PayPal address right now.
Slightly upset you've only said 2 to 3 minutes.
Right now.
Yeah. I mean, I was hoping for like 20 to 30 minutes because I can't speak for anything less than 2 to 3 minutes. It's impossible. Anyway, so hopefully this is, I think, something that you guys will appreciate. It's nice to rally round something that I think a community, something that is within a community, right? We are forming a community of people still interested in Ukraine. We are fighting for this to stay in public consciousness, and this gives an outlet for our powerlessness sometimes in the face of a global crisis. Like, what can we do to help? And you think, well, it's a drop in the ocean compared to $61 billion that the US Congress is kind of holding up and whatnot. But on the other hand, when you've got someone going out, taking these drones and taking this equipment to the front line and delivering it to these people and saying, look, here it is, then actually, no, that really is a difference. I can see that I matter, that what I do matters. Now, that sounds very kind of selfish in a sense, but we all like to feel like we matter, and in this way we can all matter if we can come together and work as a team to produce all of this, or to get all of this stuff out to the places where it really matters. So thank you for all of you guys who have come together to do this. Just to let you know that I'm hoping still, personally, from my channel point of view, I'm hoping to do a mapping update. JR has finished off the mapping that I started earlier, and so I feel I definitely need to get that out there. But it depends on timing. I am due out tonight to talk about politics and philosophy with some friends at the pub, but I seem to be doing that a lot at the moment, which is so rare for me because I barely ever get out of my house due to lack of mobility. Anyway, Professor Gertis, I'm whittling on, but it says, big thank you, Johnny. You're awesome to agree to doing this. I mean, I don't think it's awesome. I think it's like moral obligation, really. The day before the surprise dropped on Christmas. Yeah, I would have been on board a bit earlier. Christmas happened and it was insane and pretty mental. And also I just needed to make sure of a few things, and Greg is so good at explaining stuff and making sure that everything was above board and kosher and exactly how we want it. Thank you so much to Richard Bennett, who's always really kind and generous with this channel. Really appreciate that. And this is one of Greg's peeps there saying, keep it up, chaps. That's Mr. MJ Pratsy, or some there's a bunch of letters together there that make a sound. Anyway, thank you for that on behalf of Greg, who is at the moment, I think he might have just gone down a pub or something. He's just given up. It's just too much. Sometimes when there are too many Amazon deliveries, you just got to give up and go and have a swift pint. Anyway, people are still saying all the right things here. Great place to donate here. These drones are great value, and anything to stop Putin is a good investment. Oh my goodness, I couldn't agree with that anymore. And it is great that we are connected. There is definitely some kind of synergy going on here, which I think is really useful for the greater cause. And the cause is, the benefit of Ukraine, which, yeah, you can cycle that back and say it's for the benefit of ourselves as well. As someone said earlier, I can't afford to do this, but I can't afford not to do this for my grandchildren. I think it's the best way of seeing that, which is that, yeah, this, no one wants to give up hard-earned cash for other people necessarily, or maybe you do. Actually, it kind of makes us feel good, doesn't it? But you get the point where we're giving up hard-earned cash, but actually there is a payback here as well, because we can't afford not to do this. This is not only morally obligatory, as in, it's just good and right and proper to do so, but it's also geopolitically absolutely vital that we do this kind of stuff. Anyway, I don't know if that's Greg's mic coming through, so I'll turn off his mic. Thank you so much for the stuff that keeps coming through. So here's TTT with a super sticker. This is on Greg's channel, so I really appreciate that, TTT, with some Norwegian krona, as far as I understand my my currency abbreviations. And Cheryl beautifully says, I'll connect with anyone who sincerely wants to help Ukraine. Damn straight. And Shenanigan says, ATP, can you please have a look at cars for Ukraine? Might be something you please remind me another time as well, because guaranteed I've got short-term memory issues with my primary progressive multiple sclerosis, and unfortunately I always have good intentions to do lots of things, and then 2 hours later I have absolutely no idea. It's why, so I go, there's a bit of personal chat now. I write books. I've written like a dozen books plus, actually more than that now, and when I go and talk about my books online, say with Myth Vision or something, and I have to talk about what I've written, I've forgotten what I've written. And even though I've taken all that time to write a whole book on it, it just goes out of my brain. I have to take notes on everything. So my life is just full of bullet points these days. I'm just amazed I get through my daily videos of news without actually having notes about them. That just splurges out of my head. So we have more comments coming in. I've heard that drone manufacturers, which are private companies, are making more drones than the Ukrainian MOD can afford to purchase. Well, this is where people like us come in, because hopefully with the sort of fundraising that Greg is doing, then we can purchase those excess drones and get them to the front line. And it really is about the drones. There are still, even though there are that many drones being bought by United 24, by the MOD, and being in Ukraine and being built and manufactured, sent to the front line, you still get commanders saying, we are running out of drones. We do not have enough drones. How can we get more drones? And then you get these sort of complaints about corruption that we often hear, and how certain people might be getting drones over and above other people. But this helps to alleviate some of those stresses on the front line with the work that Greg is doing here. So lots of comments coming through. Honestly, I can't link them all or talk about them all. Someone saying that Warthogs just posted a video regarding this funding support for Ukraine. So bravo, and that's brilliant. So we'll be working in concert with Warthog's own probably much larger audience, and that's fantastic. It's what it is all about. Anyway, as I was saying earlier, I'm hoping to do, but might not be able to do, my frontline update, so that might have to be put out first thing tomorrow morning. But suffice to say that there are changes to the front line that are broadly favorable to Russia in most of the places. A couple of places where Ukraine have succeeded. What I have noticed over the last couple of days, and this goes back to something I was saying this morning, is the sheer volume of footage concerning destroyed columns and whatnot. It is just incredible what the Russians continue to do in terms of seeing their own equipment blown up and then continuing to do the same thing over and over. So I've seen it up in Sinkivka today. There's a bit of footage came out where another column passes by a column of already destroyed pieces of equipment, just drives past it. So I know what we'll do. We'll do exactly what they did and hope that, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different result. Going past that column that's blown up and then getting blown up on mines and goodness knows what else. And it's like, that's another column going exactly the same way the first went. I don't know what you are thinking, Russians, but you continue to do that. Anyway, I won't complain because they've made no progress in Sinkivka, but have lost an awful lot of equipment. Anyway, Greg, I've been whittling on about Uncle John Cobley and all, cabbages and kings, as we say. Let us know what all that was about.
Right here.
You are there. Anything to add to that, or was that just the toilet break?
Done. I was actually even out of my building here. I went to our administrative offices.
Right. Fair enough.
I just sent you the PayPal for our NGO.
Excellent.
So
Where did you send that to me?
BLWC, just so people know, BLWC.
Oh, there it is.
is the initials of our organization. 16125 is our zip code.
Excellent. So that is a direct PayPal, and what I'll do is I'll put that into the description for this video myself. And
we will
if you
too.
send that to me on WhatsApp, and I'll
I will,
copy and
sir.
paste that. I'll copy and paste that into the description. So aside from my prattling on, taking up time there, is there anything you want to add, Greg? There have been lots more super chats and donations to the cause to go through, but is there anything you want to add?
Well, I just want to say thank you, because it's absolutely unbelievable what's happening. I don't really know what else to say. There's very few times I'm speechless, but I'm kind of with Dr. Gertis. We're trying to get our jaws off the ground, because it's just beautiful what's happening. All I can tell you is thank you. I can tell you, you're going to see your donations, your purchases in action personally, whether it's on my channel or Johnny's channel or Dr. Gertis or whoever else we're going to end up partnering with. I'm having lunch or dinner next week with Rick, the Ukrainian. I mean, there is a huge amount of synergy coming together.
So Rick, Ukrainian has been mentioned a number of times. In fact, I trust Rick completely too, says Salt of the Earth, the Red Earth. So there are these very bona fide actors who are working really hard to do the right thing for the right people, and Rick the Ukrainian is one of them. And of course, in a perfect world, we'll all be helping everyone. So you've got to pick and choose who you want to help. And do you know what? There are plenty of great charities out there as well. There is all the ones I've already mentioned tonight. So don't forget those. But if you can help Greg out with what he does, then hopefully you should be able to see the very real consequences of helping out.
They're in Corrigan. Buy a 10-inch drone. It's $600. You make the donation of $601. You're going to buy the drone. You're going to buy a cup of coffee, and your name is going to be put on it. And you're going to watch in a few weeks me hand it right to the soldier who's using it. That's how it works.
Fabulous stuff. That's really very cool. I guess unless you have anything particular else to say, I've just had a message from my son saying, please get off the live stream and come and help me do whatever he wants me to do in his room, sorting out some bit of tech.
I understand completely. I now have a lot more work to do.
I bet you do. You're going to be a busy boy, mate.
Well, here's what's going to happen. As soon as we finish, Dr. Gertis is going to call and go, oh boy.
Good.
Hey, this is where we're at, man. Listen, to be quite honest, Johnathan, this is your effort now as much as it is ours. Okay. Because, you may not be there with me. I hope you come over. You're close, but you actually supporting this, you're equal on the team. So it's not my project. So please, it's our project.
Very magnanimous of you to say so, but
it's
it
our
is very
project.
much yours, mate. But I will,
Johnathan, let me tell it to you this way.
I'll tag along, mate.
Let me tell it to you this way. I barely had 3,000 subscribers before you gave me a shot. And we have been faithful in supporting Ukraine, not from day one. I've worked there 26 years. And we stand with them, knowing that there would come a day when it would happen. And now, at the most important time ever, it's happening. I believe it's perfect timing for all of these channels, all these support avenues to come together. And it's not about notoriety. I could give a flying flip. I take my rear end and I get on that airplane and I go to Ukraine and I go to Bakhmut. Well, not now. And I go to Zaporizhia and I go to Robitny and I go to Kupiansk, risking my life. I've got a wife out here. I've got 4 beautiful children, and it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it because I see people in there chatting. If we don't win this war, Sir Richard was right. It'll be your kids next. So let's win it. And Darren, let's get the stick out of Congress, people. I can tell you this right now. This marker right here came personally from Victoria Sparks, I was in some meetings on Capitol Hill in September. We've got some really good ones there. Unfortunately, in the United States, we have a lot of Russian propaganda floating around DC as well. So we're working on it. Thank you, sir.
I've got to something that's amused me non-stop, but I just want to say Greg has 6.81 thousand subscribers. Guys, if we can't get him above 7,000 by the end of tonight, there's something wrong with y'all. So go y'all. So
tell your grandma, look at that, y'all. Let's go.
So come on, guys, sort it out. Honestly, support his channel. It is fabulous, and the work he's doing is obviously, as you can see, really, really important. Now, I'm just going to cycle through all the people who have been very generous, both in supporting this channel, as Lawrence has done here with memberships. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And in terms of supporting from, but these are, supporters of both channels here, so I'm just mixing them all together. So Niels Clement, it's really, really generous. Just going to go through the same people. OMF FUG, thank you very much. Robert Janasar, super, super kind. Lawrence 22, as ever, legend in his own underwear. Peter van der Voort, 111 euros there. What a ledge. Remy Stevens from Canada, thank you so much. Tanya Rindenko, again from Canada, super cool. Stupidity in Essence from Denmark, massively generous again as ever. Chuck Yemmerts, that's super cool. Thank you very much to Richard Bennett, great supporter of the channel. Keep it up, chap, says Mr. MJ Pratsy. That's one of yours, so thank you. TTT as well, really cool. And Jerry Green, thank you so much. Also donated to Greg. The two of you will be who I donate to. So thank you very much for your great kindness. And this is what made me laugh. So this
Did
is
you
my,
see the comment on the third of the drone?
This is my sorry, I was just going to say this is my 13-year-old son. I don't know even, like, I don't know how he's got money. I don't know where that's come from. Like, we're going to have some work. I'm going upstairs and there is, like, that's really kind. Yeah. But you're 13. How have you, so something turned up from Amazon 2 days ago, right? And he had ordered himself like a box of lollipops, like sweets, like, because that's what a 13-year-old kid does, doesn't it? Like, how have you got an Amazon account? Right, that's the first. And how have you bought things on that? You're 30. What's going on? Anyway, he'd been given an Amazon voucher from his ice skating coach. And of course, that went on him just spanking it on sweets. Like, absolute. Anyway, like, that's enough whinging from me. But
did you get the last one there from Blue Bandit?
And this is what I was going to end with, my
Beautiful.
friend.
Thank you.
So enough whinging about my own children. Blue Bandit Jim, thank you amazingly for this. Here is 1/3 of a small drone. I challenge 2 more people to match it and make it a full drone donated in the name of ATP Geopolitics. 3 of us can make it a full drone with ATP's name on it. That is a challenge, because we actually don't have very long left, because otherwise my child Oscar will spontaneously combust.
Hey, there's more time than just today. We're challenged until January the 2nd.
This is true. So
yes,
I there is no time limit.
I'm saving your bacon, Jonathan.
Thanks, mate. But no, Blue Bandit Jim, thank you very much for that. That is amazingly generous. And, if you can remember that from him and write on his name, or 1/3 of his name, just blue, just write on blue.
It's coming.
I don't know if you'll be able to remember all of this.
Paul just joined him on 100. Beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
And Jerry Green did 150. We got it.
Oh my goodness. Has that been done then? So
done.
That is now done. Wow. And that was started, and that wouldn't have happened had Blue Jim not started that. So Blue Bandit Jim, you are a legend. Again, just super cool. Thank you for this, guys.
Super. Thanks,
says
Paul.
we'll do PayPal. That's really generous. And I'm going to be sending a load across tonight myself as well. Or if I don't do it tonight, it might be tomorrow.
Cheryl, hold on,
mate.
Correct that one. It's not right.
What?
BLUC. It's BLWC. We'll have the links posted in descriptions.
Yes. BL's WC.
I'm redoing it one more time for you. And just once again, guys, BLWC is the initials of our organization. 16125 is our zip code. It's no goofiness there. And that is a nonprofit PayPal.
Absolutely. This is
Yep.
all above board, and everything is transparent. So, you know, hopefully you guys can feel comfortable in doing what you do. Thank you to everyone. Amazing. You guys rock, says FU Russia. And whenever I see your profile name there, I just think,
Niels,
damn
it's
right.
done, buddy. Thank you. Thank you.
FU Russia, indeed.
Darren 60101 is an FPV drone. Yes.
Vigo got in there with Norwegian Krona. Oh my God, Vigo! There you go, Blue Bandit. Well, now we've got multiple names. You're gonna have to sort this
No
whole
problem.
mess out.
It's gonna happen. Listen, we got everything. Listen, I'm gonna give you guys one piece of secret. We already have it set up that when we get to the front on one of our runs, I'm actually gonna film the FPV drone. You're going to be watching it, and we'll put it up as a video. So just get ready. We got all kind of stuff coming.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
So, yes, sir.
And this is, as I say, this is the sort of thing that makes people feel like they're. I know it's not about that. And there was always this talk about, you know, there was that quote that from Zelensky or someone, like, you know, is it the Western aid assisters want to feel like they're being appreciated, so we need more thanks back, supposedly is what some Western aid entities have said, and you're like, oh come on, but do you know what, we do feel better about ourselves if we see those videos coming back and a Ukrainian saying thank you for this, and hopefully if that happens, then that makes us, as I said earlier, more likely to then give aid again. So there is like a vested interest in seeing that feedback loop take place, and I think for Greg to put that in place is a really cool thing. So thanks for everything, Greg. I mean, goodness.
Hey, thank you, Jonathan. And to be honest, you know, you talk about Zelensky. I do have a goal this time, and that's to get him on stream.
That is one hell of a goal, mate. He's the busiest human being on earth.
We'll see what can happen. Hey, we keep doing this, we'll get him on stream. I promise you.
Damn straight. Damn straight. Well, look, thanks so much to everyone. That is incredibly cool. I'm going to be putting some stuff together for Greg that takes in all of this very great generosity, and I'll shoot it to him as soon as I can. But in the meantime, everybody, really appreciate your support. And Greg, it's amazing what you have done, and great thinking from Darren, from Professor Gerdes. Go and check his channel out, as I'm sure you all have anyway. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Darren, and thank you everyone else out there.
Johnny in Goldman, yes. Ukraine aid at Bethel. That's right, 100%. And no more you, it's we.
I see what you've done there. Awesome. Okay. Well, look, take care, everybody. All the very best. Take care, Greg. Stay on the line, mate.
Yes,
and sir. In the meantime, guys, I'll either get back to you later or I get back to you tomorrow with my Frontline update. Just, I guess the final thing to say. Oh, things always moves too quickly, and then I can't say what I'm trying to say, which is this. Someone said my order from Amazon won't be there until Wednesday.
Yes, listen, everything is going on an airplane, guys. So it doesn't matter. It gets here Wednesday. We have a push date through the 2nd, realizing that people will be even buying up to the 2nd, no problem. Then our team here going to put it all together. It's going to be trucked to New Jersey. It's going to go through Ukrainian company Meast on an airplane, which we already do. We already have an account. It's going to come to Warsaw. We're going to get it with our team. And if we can't get it in a truck across the Polish border, we're going to Romania. That's the plan. Going to happen.
Awesome stuff. And what a plan. Excellent. Okay. Well, thanks everybody. Take care of yourselves. All the ways you can donate are below. There's that PayPal link that I will be putting in. So if you do use PayPal, the simplest way is really just whack a PayPal, and that will go to Greg's NGO, and that money will predominantly at the moment, that kind of raw money rather than buying stuff through Amazon will go on drones
Correct.
initially, and then going forward that may change. I don't know. There may be
Drone push is it, man.
Yeah.
Right
So
now.
that's where it's happening right now. What's happening right now. So that's probably the easiest way, or just follow the links. Listen back to the video again. All the information is previous. Thanks everybody. Take care. And
Thank you, my friend.
soon.
Be blessed.
Cheers, Greg.
Bye-bye.
Big love.